This is Alex. Hi. And I'm Fran. And here we have also some colleagues that can answer questions if you have. Very interesting. Um, do you know why we came here? What are we going to talk about? Extended reality. That's the theme today. And what we're going to tell you is our journey with extended reality technologies. There is a lot of things that people don't know about HP, but in HP, we've been playing with these technologies for a long time, and we're trying to apply it to our businesses for our benefit and the benefit of our customers. And Alex and me, we are part of a small innovation team that tries to use these technologies for us. So let's go for it. Yeah. Never. So, as I was saying, this is me, Fran, and this is Alex. And we are called the Extended Reality Garage or XR Garage. The key is to be a small team that can try different platforms, different workflows, different pipelines to deploy extended reality content. And for that, we have a lot of examples that we're going to tell you about in the presentation. And yeah, for us, it's been 2 years. Our boss, Ayus, that is in this image, he's been more time with this kind of innovation program. And yeah, I think that's it about our team. Please feel free to interrupt me, make any questions you might have, even if you want to do it in Spanish, because I don't think your voice will be heard in the stream anyway. So feel free to.
Okay, then XR. So let's start on what is XR. I guess a lot of you don't know, or maybe I don't know. But yeah, basically XR is the combination of the three realities. Well, the four realities. The real reality is also part of it, but it's already known. So XR is composed in augmented reality, mixed reality, and yeah, virtual reality. So let's start with virtual reality. I believe it's the one that you will know more. It's basically using a headset and being completely immersed in the virtual space. So basically, it's used in major part for games, as you know, like Half-Life Alyx and other things. It's also used in business for trainings, simulations, things like that. But yeah, it works. But it's maybe not the best example because you cannot, well, of course, you can use your real hands, but normally it's used with the combination with controllers. The next one, augmented reality. I guess everybody here played Pokemon Go in one time or another. And augmented reality is basically overlaying something virtual over the real space. It can be triggered by a QR code, it can be just position based or whatever. Augmented reality and mixed reality is very easy to mix up, and we also have problems mixing them up because the line is very thin between them two. Augmented reality is basically overlaying virtual information over the real space. Mixed reality is the virtual information interacting with the real space, and vice versa. So if you move something in the real space, you will see the movement or an action on the virtual space. This is where we are trying to go right now. And yeah, and that's it, basically the difference. So in the bottom you have, let's say, examples of the types of hardware that they are right now. For example, the virtual reality, the Reverb G2, the best headset right now in the market, of course. I am not familiar with the augmented reality one, but you have other ones like Real, we have your mobile phone. And for virtual reality, we
Mixed reality.
mixed reality. We saw that the best one right now is the
Microsoft HoloLens.
Microsoft HoloLens 2, not the one.
So at the end, as you see, it's an umbrella concept that tries to express all these technologies. And at the end, what is? It's a new human-machine interface. We can interact with pure digital, with virtual reality. We can just see an overlay of information in our glass with augmented reality. Or we can mix the reality with the digital with mixed reality. So if I do changes on the holograms that I see, that can activate something on the real world. And that's why it's called mixed, because you're blending both. And it's an interesting journey.
Yeah, it's interesting and very difficult. So,
Okay.
next slide.
So I think we need to press it again. That's for you.
No. This is the way we are seeing the things change. Of course, the timings may be different in other places. But yeah, basically we have three sections. We have the final consumer or the enthusiasts. We have businesses like companies and other things, and we have basically office environment. So what we saw is that in the past the gaming was done in PC. Now, of course,
In the
also,
gaming,
yeah. Right now we are more inclined to play with phones. Like for example, everybody has phones, right? And yeah, and beyond, we believe that VR and AR will have a lot more power in this sector. For businesses, the same. First, they started with laptops, and it's a little bit uncomfortable because you need to put the laptop somewhere, you need to use both hands for that. Then they changed it to tablets and mobile phones with their capabilities. And in the near future, and we are already working on it, hands-free, mixed, and augmented reality for comms, for content consumption, for visualizing, whatever it needs. And for the office, the same. First, before the pandemic, that was normal to be in a room with a lot of people. Then we changed it to Teams, Zoom, Skype. I don't know if Skype is being used.
nothing to worry about.
Discord. Discord is the best one. And in the future, we also believe that with help of AR or VR glasses, we can have a better experience of that.
So as you see, the gaming is a really good research and development engine because it's really easy, let's say, to understand how a product could work. You make a game, you sell it. But these technologies, these techniques, and this culture cascade to other use cases that are different. In this case, we have the layer with the industrial one. So companies say, huh, so they're doing this in the gaming. They have this hardware, this software. This could bring us new capabilities that we didn't have before. And this would be, we could call it gamification. And gamification is not only the use of hardware and software coming from the worlds of the video games industry, it's also the understanding of presenting humans with achievable challenges gradually so they can achieve something complex. And this is both in the hardware, software, and also in the techniques, what we're trying to do in HP. We're trying to use these technologies to improve our knowledge transfer use cases. Okay, and we're going to speak more about it in the, I think, in the next slide.
And by the way, where the real innovation happens is in gaming. But who pays for the technology is the second one. So, so next step. Here we have a little bit of what we are touching right now. This is a video I will take right now. I just want to make clear that what you're gonna see is something that is work in progress. It's still in development, and it's already 1 year old, more or less.
This one is more than 1 year old.
This one is more.
Yeah, some products will have things of just the UI designs and things like that because they are pilots. So Some of them are becoming a product right now. Some of them will be a product very soon. So this is a sneak peek of our work in the last few years. And in the top, we placed few words, say marketing, site preparation, installation, ramp up, maintenance, and support. And this is the chain of actions that our customers have to face when starting to use HP hardware. And we're talking about not the small printer that you have at home, but the big presses, the industrial presses, and other kind of machinery that HP sells as well. And in all the chain of interaction with the customer, there is always a challenge of knowledge transfer. We know something they don't know. If they don't know to operate well the machine will break more often. They will lose money. We will lose money too, because we make a lot of money thanks to the consumables. So we need to support our customers, and we are super driven to give them the fastest response possible. And why I'm talking about this is because extended reality technologies empower us to do this. In this video, we're going to give an example of use cases for the different areas. Starting, well, we don't have a content for marketing yet. We did like a virtual reality lobby that you can go and maybe touch some computers. This is not going to be shown here, but we will go in, straight away with site preparation. So you will see Sergi placing some machines in the space. So you can see, oh, okay, this big machine can fit here, maybe 5 more. This is how we try to use extended reality technologies to face one problem, one issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe we can start with the video and we
go for
can
it.
explain over it. So one of the important things about this video is all the tools that were used here are, well, not all. The major part of the tools that we used is already available for you. So maybe if you already played with Unity and virtual reality and so on, you will see some parts that maybe you will recognize there.
Okay, go for it. I will try to describe you because we didn't put the sound. For the site preparation, as I was mentioning, thank you. This is just the mobile app, but we have also the mixed reality headset version. So you will place a machine, and the main goal is just to visualize how this volume interacts with the real environment. In this case, this is a 3D printer. They are smaller than the industrial ones that we sell. And it can fit perfectly. Okay, so you can choose the objects from a library. This is a small checklist to say, okay, is the humidity fine? This is just a list, okay? But the thing is that you can put this in one product and just help the customer re-visualize how many presses can I fit in myself? Can I really buy this hardware? And in the past, we need to send the engineer to do some measurements, to have a conversation. We're still sending this engineer, but now the customer will be able to just deploy a few things and say, okay, we could have like a small system. The following example would be the similar use case, but using a mixed reality headset. Right now, Alex is deploying one of our biggest machines, the C500. I think, how long was it? Like, it's quite large.
Yeah, it's 100 meters more or less.
So in the floor, you see the blueprint. You can walk directly, or you can say, okay, visualize it from 3D. And now you have a low resolution model, but it's enough to be able to inspect and say, okay, here, I don't know if it's going to fit here. Maybe we need to do some hard work in here. We're talking about very heavy machines, and sometimes the feet of the machine, they need to be a specific place in order to be a successful installation. Otherwise, can break a pipe, can break some stuff. Maybe they don't have the structural integrity. You can visualize the human space, the clearing areas for opening the doors. Okay, we can put a box here because we need to open these spaces, these doors. And now you've seen a self-guided instruction with a mixed reality headset. Okay, So you will hear the voice expressing what you need to do in each step. And step by step, we divide a complex procedure into a step-by-step instruction that you can follow. And with your headset on, and please don't judge the aesthetics because, as I told you, this is a pilot. Right now, we have much better aesthetics, but the product is not released yet. And as you see, the holograms just point you where you need to pay attention to, and even perform a small animation. But what happens if that's not enough? You get stuck, the operator cannot solve the problem with this consumable. Then we're applying Microsoft Remote Assist, which is like Microsoft Teams for the mixed reality headset. And you can have a mixed reality call, and the engineer that has the knowledge that you need can directly draw over your site and point whatever you need to work on. And I say, no problem, watch this video, this is exactly what you need to do. And this is a recording of the headset, this is not CGI. This is how actually looks. Well, it looks a little bit less cool. The recording usually looks good, but it works. And this is actually really, really good. Yeah. Do you have any questions about this part? What kind of?
What kind of frameworks?
Good question. This one is this was in collaboration with a partner that we're not following at the moment. But right now, in the backend is Unity. It's enabling a lot of things. Then you will have more specific packages and technologies we're using. Sergey is the right person to ask these kind of questions. And actually, this use case is attracting a lot of interest in the companies. The possibility to put your glasses and you directly see the movement of what you need to do. It's impressive when you see someone doing it because you just see how it triggers the action because they directly do whatever they need to do. It's really good. So yeah, Unity is actually a good way to go for this. I forgot as well, we didn't show. We also have virtual reality for training. We launched last like a year and a half.
Yeah, it's with what we started. The
Yeah.
typical VR steps. But
So would be the same but pure virtual reality. So you have a virtual machine, you load a lesson and explains you step by step so you understand something. And this has value for us because these machines, this specific virtual reality training was done by a machine that is 12 meters long. And you cannot fit a lot of them in a training center. You can fit maybe 2 or 3, but you have other models to present. So sometimes you run out of space. So you put your headset, you consume the content, and you expect the trainee to learn with it. And actually, Alex and me, we started building this content, and because of the lockdown, we didn't see the machine till months later. And we were presented with the real machine, we felt overconfident using the real machine. I almost break the.
we almost break the machine because
And this is one of the good side effects of virtual reality trainings. They increase a lot of the self-confidence. And this is key to solve problems. Because if you are not willing to fail, how are you going to succeed? It's really difficult.
and to finish the final slide. So here you will see the typical roles in a university, like for example, ARPR maintenance support or gameplay engineer. That they of course exist. But yeah, this is basically what profiles we inside of HP in speaking abroad of the organization that is dealing with hardware, virtual reality, and so on. This is more or less the profiles and the languages and the tools that we searching or using or want to experiment with. So yeah, basically software developer. I guess you know what is it. Software developer oriented, of course, to VR tools. Okay. It's not here. We are not searching over here. Sorry, sorry. Yeah. Someone to design. Maybe it doesn't have to be an engineer. It can be resumed as an artist, 3D artist. What else? Someone that knows VR and AR for maintenance and support for heavy machinery, maybe other things. We started with the large printers because it's the most difficult part. We don't want to start easy with small laptops or something like that, of course. And project management is always good, I guess.
Really, really important.
Yeah, it's surprising how important it is to have someone that knows how to manage these things and these teams. And yeah, and someone that knows about tools for games, the theory of gaming, it's always good. And we know that it's something that we need to pay attention.
So, what is the impact of these innovations when a company like HP tries to do them, tries to implement them? Well, you need to face a lot of fronts, and one of those is within more sociological. That's why the PA, the project manager, is important. You need to convince a lot of people to support you, the trainers, the engineers that go to the site, the final users of this technology, of the users that are going to deal with the client with this technology. So at the end, this kind of changes, they create a huge wave of impacts in different businesses, in the organization, and at the end, you need a lot of people for that. So we're actually super interested in this kind of stuff. We think it's amazing that we can work on these projects. And actually, I'm glad that we can do it in HP. It's really good. At the end, you won't see much of this on the TV advertisements, something like that. But you need to know there's people working on these things.
Yep.
Let's go to the most interesting part, the questions. Please break the sound barrier and make any questions you might have. Yeah.
Wow, a lot of questions. Go ahead.
All these mixed reality frameworks ready for multiple mixed reality headsets or are exclusive to one line of headsets only?
That is a good question.
Yes, they are ready. Maybe not natively. Maybe you need to tweak them a little bit. But yeah, we already had some, for example, meetings using all kinds of devices at once. So this is already possible. They are people that are already working on them. And yeah.
You know, at the moment, we're seeing most of the products and businesses are focused on building a suite that enables you to deploy one kind of XR experience. Let's say a virtual reality. So there is a lot of companies that build a small framework and a pipeline. So a low coding user could potentially build a small VR training. Then you have other actors in the world that do the same with augmented reality or mixed reality. But actually, you can combine both. And we are working on a product that actually combines both. And you can have a training running on a virtual machine, and you can have someone accessing this training from the laptop, another one with a virtual reality headset, and another one with a mixed reality headset as well. And he will see only the machine and the avatars floating around. So this is the combination of transitioning in all the extended reality spectrum from one to another. And right now, there is not a lot of products in the market, I would say zero almost, that offers this. What I mean is there is a lot of room for improvement, for developing, for creating new things, and the companies love it. So it's a really, really good moment. Maybe in 10 years ago, it would be maybe too early. Maybe in 10 years, maybe it would be too late. But right now, it's a really, really, really good moment for
And
that.
say not even 10, before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, this was not in the scope of any company. Well, maybe some, yes, but HP for sure didn't didn't see the possibility to invest at this level. But
yeah, we were saying we were more in a low profile, but now like the interest is high. It's very high. They want all remote. They want to empower the customer with knowledge, the easiest to consume knowledge when they need it, and this can have an impact on their business. So it's really, really big. Yeah.
any more questions?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, when you make a tool that allows you to have some mixed reality with a VR headset, you are looking at the image of what you should be seeing in front of you and something on top of it. So what records the thing that you're seeing so that you can overlap the virtual bars? Is there also a camera involved, I suppose?
Yes. So natively, I believe VR headsets, the mixed reality of VR headsets is very bad. So all the cameras that we saw is black and white and low quality. So it's not a good experience even to try. But I believe there are add-ons to that.
There are some VR hardware that have a really nice consumer quality, and they're working on the new visual out from that camera. But one of the problems that we face, like usually for starting, we don't have a camera as a resolution, and you have to sign in hardware that comes with this password, so you can show the camera to the user. In the video that is password, we would like to make reality or matching having a non special license, right? So you only give the project, actually VR. And right now, like, things that are really possible, like, only big company or big companies that are like Mega has a bar between that also. And then you have like companies like Selfie, Second from home, I can have a camera and then solution for you to VR. That's why I say why you don't have a pro no.
There's not actually a lot of pass-through hardware at the moment. I feel VR is more mature in terms of technology, but pass-through like HoloLens or Magic, it's not many options that are powerful in the market. So again, it's a really good moment because they receive a lot of interest and there's a lot more to do. So yeah.
And this is just starting, and we like it.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Go for it.
For how many years have you?
We've been only 2 years, a bit more. Yeah. But our boss started before us. Yeah, they did different tries with that.
With respect to the development of what you were mentioning, that you were working also with another company, how does it work? Do you give the task then to them, or do you implement it?
Well, there are
Depends.
sometimes the company is already working on something that we like, and we just push them in the correct directions. And sometimes we just pick some company that we see that they are more or less knows what we want, and we just ask them, hey, can you do this for us?
Other times you get both what worlds combine and you get a partners because sometimes the developer have an idea of what would be useful and the consumer has a slightly different idea. So if they work both together, they will be more successful in order to create a product that is appropriate. Yeah. So there is sometimes in-house, sometimes collaboration, but this is like almost, yeah. Everything. But I would say like for piloting experimental stuff, it's usually inside. Yeah.
So at the moment, or maybe in the future, do you have some kind of like proprietary real-time engine engine with maybe capability, or is it unique right now?
We don't have to.
No.
Yeah, please go for it.
Yeah. this is like big companies like TVP, being partner for us, right? And also like the next slide, we feel that's gonna be too. So we don't want to convert from all the other companies. And it's nice to have like the open source standard that everyone has a beacon on there, right? And we still have a space like extension and so on to do custom stuff that we want to implement sensor data and that we can go over the next summer. So we want to do like actually like be able to
Exactly. And we, not as a company, but as a team, love open source. So if in the tool is already a lot of people collaborating, is like why to reinvent the wheel? Just go with the flow. Let's help everyone together, and yeah, we will run faster in that way.
Good. So I hope you like it. If you find us through there, you can ask us questions. Please feel free. You can ask me questions too to Victor. That will be here also during the weekend. I think Sergey and Alex are behind Slack as well. I don't know if you will be as well. So feel free to ask us any questions you might have. Good luck with your hackathon and with your projects. Thank you.